Hello everyone, this is Tetsu Live. How you doing? Sorry I've been away for a couple of days. I've been really busy working on some RP stuff. You're seeing some of it tonight. So there is a new layout here. Check out our Twitter feed on top if you can see that from a computer. Also check out our YouTube link up there in the corner. Please do subscribe to that. And yeah, check out the links. So we've been working really hard here. If you got any donations that you can throw our way, check out our Patreon link, which is in the description. So I'm wearing this ironic police hat that I got from the Boston Police. A lot of people like this hat for some reason. I think it's because it says Canine Unit. But it does ironically remind me of the cruel treatment that immigrants go through in this country. I'm going to switch to some of the protests going on. So this is an immigration rally. You can see that in the corner in Seattle, and that is going on right now. So Seattle, 3 hours behind. So I believe it's 9:30 there at the moment. The rally seems to be going on strong. If you want to hear some of that, let's hear what's going on here. Meanwhile, I'm going to check out my streams, make sure they're going okay. Just so you know, tonight's stream is on YouTube as well. So if you check out the YouTube link, you will get the same stream at the same time. And yeah, so that's pretty cool, right? Hopefully it's streaming. I'm trying to see if it's there. My videos. I don't see it streaming. So, all right, guys. Can't really worry about that now. Oh no, it is. Is it working? Yes, it's working. It's amazing. Okay. So, as technology director, it's kind of hard because I gotta eat my own dog food, as they say in the tech world. No one's gonna try out my stuff at RP even, unless I kind of really prove it to them. And been testing all night, actually all day, actually all weekend, actually all week. Make sure these things go smoothly for our guests and our hosts. So I'm pretty excited about our new platform here. Let me know how it looks, if you like it, and throw some comments my way. So actually, this is terrible, but I'm gonna make a slight adjustment on my little clock in the corner, just because I need to move that over 3 pixels. This is kind of excruciating work. Anyway, I shouldn't complain. So Steve, my partner Steve, says I need a beret. So yeah, I did wear another one of my police hats at the riots, or the inauguration, the protests to the inauguration, Occupy inauguration in DC last weekend. I actually have another hat. It's a Boston Police Bomb Squad hat. But apparently the police didn't see that from 30 meters away, so they threw grenades at me anyway. What can I do, right? So let's talk about immigration. There's been a lot of interesting news, other than just the what you see there, the protests in front of you. We are witnessing the age of Trump. is basically what he's promised to do. He is doing. Jimmy Dore actually came out with a video today that stated that laying some of the blame on Obama, and I generally trust what Jimmy Dore has to say, so I didn't read the article that he cited very carefully, and I posted it on my wall. Someone kindly noted that the information isn't really correct, and there's not this correlation between the visa application process and anti-terrorist Terrorist Prevention Act of 2015. In fact, there's very little relation to it. So, but what I can tell you is that yes, Obama was an extremely cruel, unusually cruel president when it came to immigration. The treatment, not just the numbers. I think we know the numbers in terms of, an estimated 3.2 million immigrants deported under his tenure, his 8-year tenure. More than all U.S. presidents combined in the 20th century. And let's face it, Republicans have a much better track record on immigration than Democrats. Let's just own up to that, right? Who is it that last granted amnesty to 11 million, or was it 8? I can't remember. in the 80s, it was Ronald Reagan. So there you go. Now I'm going to switch to the web. So Tatsu Web. And where should I start? Oh, maybe I should mute the rally here. So it's just me. Well, let's start with Obama. So, dearly deported. And this is a website I can't stand because, for the most part, Snopes was a tool for the establishment. They were, their slant, their purported, neutrality was used, against Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump in many ways. It was basically a Hillary shill outlet, pretending to be neutral and objective, but they were anything but such. So, fact check, politics, immigration. A record number of people were removed from the U.S. during President Obama's tenure as president. So this is October 20th, 2016, and true. Oh no. As of 2015, more than 2.5 million undocumented people have been deported. So actually, when you take in the numbers, last recorded official numbers from 2014, and you put that with 2015, 2016, and 2014 wasn't the highest level of deported immigrants. So, yeah, about 3.2 million estimated. And that's a somewhat conservative, reasonable estimate. Now, moving on, we have, I just wanted to give you guys a kind of a taste of what it's really like to live in an immigration center. So I'm going to try to make this a little smaller. So first glimpse, this is actually a local newspaper in Arizona. First glimpse of immigration children in a holding facility. So you see two young girls sleeping on the floor, two young boys. And let me tell you something about this photo right here. So these ICE immigration centers, some of which are private prisons, by the way, are basically little torture centers. They're wearing these Mylar blankets, and those are the blankets that you see people receive at the end of like marathons, right? to keep their body warmth while they're cooling down from their strenuous activity. Well, these are the only blankets these people get, and there's, they're inches off a cold cement floor. And basically, what these ICE detention centers or prisons, let's just call them prisons, do is blast the AC. So if you ever sat in the office wishing that you had brought your extra sweater in from home, you know how uncomfortable it gets. Well, imagine if that's your entire life, not just a shift and you can't go outside and get coffee or anything. You're just freezing. I mean, it's not exactly waterboarding or even, direct torture, but I'm sure it's torturous. So we're going through some more pictures of young boys. A young man making a phone call, probably to his home. And yeah, more pictures of freezing people. The two women in the foreground through the holes of the wire fence are watching the World Cup. Isn't this shameful, people? And this is all, under Obama, right? This is who he is. This is who he was. And I'm going to get over this. We're facing a Donald Trump right now. We are not facing Barack Obama. And yeah, it's terrible stuff. But this is the legacy that Obama has handed over to Donald Trump. What we see is, and this is just a very small critique of Obama. I've actually had a larger critique on his immigration policies in past live streams. I've also had video live streams about basically all the tools of fascism that Obama has invented for himself, since he's a very clever lawyer. And I think, to me, Obama's true legacy as a politician, as a leader of state, is to up the game in the legal front. The way he expanded his powers, for good and bad, for things like DACA, which is good, DACA. So that's the Defense of Children Act. If you're not aware of that, a lot of my immigrant lawyer friends are very concerned about this. It seems to be holding steady for the moment. We're all of us in the immigrant legal community are very concerned about this. But going on to Obama's immigration policies and the tools that he's created, that is his true legacy. His legacy is leaving Donald Trump with these scary Orwellian tools of fascism at his disposal. Things like killing American citizens via drone strike without trial, forget detention, no habeas corpus. Speaking of habeas corpus, he's pretty much gotten rid of it, and so on. So, this live stream is not going to be a rehash of this. We're just going to move on to immigration. So, while I'm watching with you the rally here in Seattle, on one hand, I feel some hope, right? So the people are rising up in some fashion. It's hard to tell. Let's see. Immigrants make America great again. So yeah, I would say, this is the Pussy Hat Brigade, the Pantsuit Nation, and they're bringing it to the street. I guess that's good. Now, well, what are they protesting? Are they protesting the right thing? One thing Jimmy Dore said is, okay, so they're storming international airports all across the country, trying to rally for detained immigrants or even dual citizen holders, green card holders, foreign nationals, who knows what's happening to them in these airports? Who knows if they'll be, just returned or, God forbid, shipped to one of these awful ICE, uh, immigration, custom enforcement, private prisons. Um, so yeah, I understand they have good intentions, but unfortunately, it's a reflexive action. It's a knee-jerk reaction against the personality of the Donald Trump, and yes, to some extent, his direct executive actions. But there needs to be some reconciling of the lack of protest, the lack of dissent when Obama deported all of these immigrants before, and the irony of the same people that Donald Trump will not allow into the country now are the same people that Obama has been bombing the shit out of for 8 years. Um, you know, harsh language. He's killed many, many Muslims. Let's put it that way. When you look at, and some countries go beyond that. They go for 16 years, right? Like Iraq and Afghanistan and perhaps Pakistan. But Obama expanded his wars to, as we know, Yemen, Somalia, Libya, Syria, to some extent antagonizing Iran, all across the Middle East, except for, of course, Saudi Arabia, another oppressive fascist state. So I'm glad to see them out, in the streets today. I hope they will join us again for more rallies, for more protests, and I hope they get the larger view here, in that we need to gather to gain force, to recombine our efforts so that we can defeat not just one executive action today, but take down our corporatist state that, unless it's defeated, these types of things, these types of actions, these types of policies, these types of laws, and we haven't, people are scared today that Donald Trump is enacting some EOs, some executive orders. What happens when he starts really getting going? What happens when he shows to he proves himself to be scarier than Obama himself? Someone who I believe to be one of the most frightening presidents in my lifetime. And remember, I say that because Obama, the politician, Obama, the lawmaker, he's not a lawmaker, but he signed the NDAA Act of 2012, 2013, allowing, he threw whistleblowers into jail, 9 of them. Okay, so he let Chelsea Manning go, but that's because of us. It's not because of Pantsuit Nation. It's not because of the pussy hats, pink pussy hats. It's because of progressives, real progressives. So, and I'm not talking, RP real progressives, but those of you out there who are the true voice of dissent and resistance. I believe, our collective voices did help free Chelsea Manning. Maybe we didn't get Leonard Peltier and other political prisoners that we wanted, but since Chelsea was in the spotlight so much, he did the right thing. He doesn't get any credit for it, but he did the right thing. All right. So right. So what happened? David David's saying Obama's gone, and you're right, David. I should stop talking about him. But what I wanted to get to is what happens when Donald Trump starts signing, the IAA 2017 next year. What does the IA Intelligence Authorization Act of 2018 look like? What does the National Defense Authorization Act of 2018 look like? And look for it in December, around Christmas time, and study that carefully. And I hope, at that time, in 11 months' time, that these people on the street in Portland, I guess we're in Portland, we switched from Seattle to Portland, are with us then. Are you gonna, I understand, there's an emotional aspect to um, people being detained, but the struggle is systemic. We're fighting a power that has the ability to incarcerate all of us, not just some on the margins. So let's organize around that. And I'm not going to get into purity tests and exactly what particular um, positions, platforms, or even direct actions we should take. That's not particularly my role in all of this, but I'm just calling for more unity. I'm happy to see people out in the street tonight, and as much as I give them crap, they deserve some credit. So um, let's just try to work with them in terms of getting them to see through example. And I do criticize um, Barack Obama a little too much in the context of today under Trump administration, but it is a useful example to show to your self-identified liberal friends that the struggle can corrupt someone as nice as liberal as Barack Obama. And why? Why is that? Because the corruption goes so deep that almost no one can get away with it. And it does take mass protest, mass resistance, mass revolution to overturn, to get Donald Trump to stop on a dime, to not do these things. So that's the message for tonight. It's not a very deep one, but I hope you enjoyed the footage from Seattle. Some of the pictures of the ICE detention center in Arizona, and that's azcentral.com. News, Politics, Immigration 2014. So, if you want the link to that, just let me know. And have a good night. Have a good week. We've got a lot of guests coming up this week. I believe we have Debbie, the Sane Progressive, appearing on with Steve on Tuesday. Not sure who's up for tomorrow with Steve. We have Mike Sionato on Wednesday, and if you're not familiar with Mike, he's an extremely competent, on the rise, I would say, journalist in the vein of Jeremy Scahill or Jordan from TYT Politics and the like. Please give this video some love, some likes, and also check out our various channels. Check out our YouTube channel. Please do subscribe, and I'm going to close out with that. And also consider small donation every month. Some people do $5 a month, $10 a month, $20. So all of this work goes to help fund what we do. I personally have donated quite a lot of time and money and effort to do what I do um, for you guys. So for us all. So I take it seriously, and every little bit helps. So all right, guys. Peace, and have a good night.